I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car, and she was like, David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son.
It's because the claims that I had in 2023 were, put on hold. It's as if they didn't exist. I had no idea. I was told that they were false by David and his legal team. So after the whole situation happened, I actually felt bad for, spreading misinformation. I thought it was all fake. Obviously, with the stuff that's happened in the past 24 hours, I realized that, they're now real, and some people have come out to me and told me that, it was true.
On September 8th, the city of Los Angeles was rocked by a chilling discovery. The lifeless body of 15-year-old Celeste was found in the trunk of a Tesla Model 3. But what made this discovery even more disturbing was the fact that the car was registered to none other than David Burke, the rising Gen Z star known to the world as D4vd. From that moment, the public's attention shifted from the abandoned vehicle to the very man behind it. The story went from a simple mystery to a harrowing puzzle, with many questioning whether this was a tragic coincidence or if David himself was hiding something far darker than anyone could have imagined. Fans soon began digging into David's past, combing through old interviews and statements for clues. One quote in particular stood out: "My music is a prophecy for my life." Was this more than just an artistic statement? Could it have been a chilling premonition? Even those closest to him, including his own mother, had previously voiced concerns about his behavior. The pieces were starting to fit, but where did they lead? Let's take a closer look. It all started on the Zach Sang Show, a popular podcast known for its casual but revealing conversations with rising stars. In an episode promoting David's latest album, Time's Withered, the atmosphere was light at first. David shared funny stories from his days touring with SZA and his love for video games. But as the interview progressed, something unsettling slipped through the cracks. David casually mentioned, "She's not in my life anymore," when discussing past relationships. In the context of the conversation, it seemed like just another throwaway line. But in hindsight, after Celeste's body was discovered in that Tesla, fans couldn't shake the feeling that something far darker had been hinted at. Was this just an artist's metaphor, or was it a chilling foreshadowing of a real-life tragedy? David's words took on a new meaning as people started asking, who was he referring to? An ex-girlfriend? Someone from his past? Or could it be Celeste herself? The phrase, "she's not in my life anymore," suddenly felt like a cryptic farewell, a sign that someone was gone, possibly never to return. Was this just an offhand remark, or did it contain a hidden message? Then, further digging into David's past revealed an even more disturbing layer. His own mother had once expressed deep concern about his violent lyrics. "David, this song is too violent. You're singing about killing people, and that's not my son," she said. At first, it seemed like a loving critique of his music. But with the benefit of hindsight, those words now feel more like a mother's warning. Did she see something in him before the rest of the world did? Was she sensing the darkness that would later come to light? As more details surfaced, a troubling pattern emerged. Back in 2023, someone close to David came forward with accusations that he had been messaging underage girls on Discord. But when that person tried to go public, they were silenced by threats from David's legal team. According to this individual, David's interactions with these minors weren't an isolated incident. One anonymous source even stated, "I tried to bring this to light in 2023, but I was harassed, and David's legal team contacted me to remove everything." The deeper you look, the more unsettling it becomes. Were these girls, like Celeste, just victims in a long line of troubling behavior? With each new piece of evidence, the public began to re-examine David's music in a new light. Fans started to replay interviews, dissecting every word. One comment stood out. "My God, he told us everything from the start. We just didn't believe it." Others began to wonder if his music truly was prophetic. Then Celeste might have been doomed the moment that song was released. David's latest album, Time's Withered, seemed to carry even more dark significance in light of everything that had happened. At first, fans assumed the album title referred to the fragility of young love. But with Celeste's death hanging over everything, the title Time's Withered took on a more sinister meaning: the decay and destruction of something that was never allowed to fully bloom. Could this be a hidden reference to Celeste? But the creepiest connection of all was the discovery of a tiny tattoo on both David's and Celeste's bodies, a shush symbol etched on their fingers. According to the coroner's report, the exact same tattoo was found on Celeste in the exact same place on her body. To many, this couldn't just be a coincidence. The symbolism was too strong. It felt like some sort of twisted connection between the two. Could this mark represent a bond between them? A silent promise or dark secret that neither could escape? If that wasn't enough, online investigators also found another eerie connection: the game Life is Strange, which David had cited as an influence for his music. In the game, players follow the story of a missing teenage girl, a town full of secrets, and death looming over every decision. The parallels between the game and Celeste's case were enough to send shivers down the spine. Was this just a coincidence? Or was David subconsciously weaving real-life tragedy into his art? Then there's the music video for David's hit song, Romantic Homicide, released right around the time Celeste went missing. The video's imagery is haunting. A room flashing with warning lights, a bed soaked in blood-red stains, and a protagonist who looks like they're on the brink of despair. To the casual viewer, it might just seem like typical dramatic imagery for a broken romance. But in the wake of Celeste's disappearance, the video now feels like an ominous premonition of things to come. It doesn't stop there. A previously unreleased track titled Celeste was discovered among David's archives. The lyrics, though romantic on the surface, have an entirely different tone when you consider the context. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. I'm obsessed. When heard through the lens of the Celeste case, these lyrics take on a deeply disturbing undertone. David himself has admitted that he's often written songs about his life before it happens, calling himself a prophet of sorts. Could it be that his music wasn't just art, but a confession, a dark prediction of what he would eventually do? The most chilling question now is, why? What could have driven David to commit such a horrific act? The first theory that arises is a possible relationship with Celeste. She was just 13 when she disappeared, while David was an adult, enjoying the peak of his career. If there was a relationship between them, it would have been met with severe backlash from both her family and society at large. Could this forbidden love have spiraled into something darker, something far more tragic? Another theory is that David's need for control may have played a role. Lyrics like "I'm obsessed" and the symbolic "shush" tattoo suggest a possessive nature, as if David couldn't bear to let go of Celeste. Could her disappearance have been the result of a breakdown, a desperate attempt to control someone who was slipping away? In the darkest scenario, David might not just be an artist who got caught up in a tragic series of events. If the clues in his music, interviews, and tattoos are more than just coincidences, then we're looking at a much darker truth, a confession hidden in plain sight. Now, as the investigation continues, David's world has come crashing down. His career has crumbled almost overnight with canceled tours, severed sponsorship deals, and a tarnished reputation. The public has split into two factions, one that believes David was confessing all along, and another that insists this is all just wild speculation. But one thing is certain: the promise of a bright future for D4vd has been overshadowed by the dark clouds of suspicion and tragedy. If David is found guilty, the consequences will be severe. A possible life sentence or even the death penalty could be on the table, depending on where the trial takes place. For now, David stands at the edge of it all. Once a beloved artist, now a figure stained by a mystery the world has yet to fully unravel. As we reflect on his words from the past, "She's not in my life anymore," the haunting irony is undeniable. Celeste is truly gone, and now her story is intertwined with his in ways no one could have foreseen. What do you think? Are these just eerie coincidences, or do the clues point to something far darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what you think.